Hey guys, week 21 in the Laundromat project. Jason Dodge here, Quick Wash Laundromats. It looks like a finished product actually at this moment in time. We do not have our official occupancy yet from the city, which is the main reason why we're not open. But we're still kind of working on some little things just with the vending machines and getting the speakers and the stereo installed and stuff like that. I'm working on other projects, so I have other stuff that's going on. So it's impossible, and I got, obviously I'm married and I have kids and driving my kids back to college and stuff like that. So, life sometimes interferes with the pace at which I can work, which is great. That's what I love about the laundromat business, is it allows me to drive my kid back to college, on a Wednesday or whatever, and just not have to work that day. So that's what I did this week. So I lost a day there, and it takes me a couple of days, at least 2.5 days worth of work just to get caught up on my other laundromats and stuff like that. So we're working at it a little bit at a time. I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to give you a little walk through and outside on some of the progress that we had this week. So I'm going to start inside, and my wife Stephanie helped me this week, which got us caught up quite a bit because we had a bunch of little things like this blue bin and this little cart that we like to have our cleaning staff use. We had to assemble those, and that takes time. These shelving units. So one of them was here, the other one we put together. I like to be really organized, so we bought some shelves, and there's going to be more shelves in here with our products and stuff on it. And I still got a mess going right there, but we're working at it. So those are some of those final details, just getting shelving, getting inventory, getting things organized. That's some stuff that we did this week. Had to fill the vending machines this week, so we filled it with our soda and our snacks and our soap. Still got a couple rows there, but the machines are all programmed, they're all tested, everything is working. I still have to do my little soap vendor. So we got those, the machines look great. I've already been eating and drinking everything out of there every time that I'm here, so I gotta stop that. I also want to take a second to talk about our Replay Learn Center, RPL Center, that we got from the Coin Laundry Association, and we're part of that. We're part of the Coin Laundry Association. We're also part of Laundry Cares, and we put these Replay Learn Centers in my laundromats. And this one here, it's not fully together yet, but we're gonna have some books out there, some little puppet things and magnetic letters and stuff for that whiteboard. We'll have some little posters on the walls there. But any books that are out here, if a child is here and they're reading, they like that book, they can take it home free of charge. We are constantly going to be replenishing those books. Pretty much everybody in the laundry industry knows about this program, but for those of you that are not in the laundry industry, this is something we do, and this is something it's nice to give back to the community and have these little areas available for everybody. So that is that. The big thing we got done this week, and had to do it in a couple phases, was our landscaping. This is what was holding us up a little bit on occupancy. We had to get the security fence down, and then we had to find a moment in time where everybody's schedule lined up and we could get the guys out here to install our trees and bushes. Last time I built a laundromat in the city 2 years ago, the city would have allowed us to open without the landscaping finished. This time they won't. They won't give us occupancy until the landscaping is finished, which, I don't know. I guess I wasn't thrilled about it because we probably could be open right now, but first run with the landscaping last week, these landscaping beds have to be 10 feet wide, and somehow they ended up at 9 feet because we didn't bring the edging all the way to the asphalt. So we had to, and then of course the guys are off for a week. So then we had to have them come back yesterday and bring the edging out so that we could have the full 10 feet that we're supposed to have per city code. So now we got that. It does look great though. I love how the trees, I crab about it because it's expensive, and it's one of those expenses that just doesn't really make you any money, but it really does look good. We have almost 100 boxwoods, I think around 15 trees, and 10 or 11 of these arborvitaes to provide screening to our neighbors. So here's a good shot of the building now with all our windows and doors. The lot is sealed and striped. I guess I should move my truck out of the way, but there it is. So we are almost ready to open, guys. It's all these little details, and then we just got to finalize up on staff, and then we'll be opening up. All right, guys, this week I want to thank Bill Dorner and RJ Cool. So there's a lot of people out there that have problems with their distributors, and luckily I am not one of them. I had just a really good experience with them and in the flow and working with Bill. And Bill is a guy, just a little background, I've known Bill almost the entire time that I've been in the laundry industry. And initially he worked on the side of town that I was not on, so I wasn't able to work with him. And he was working with some people I knew, and I've always, just kind of heard about how good he was with everything and wanted to work with him. And it never really worked. I had eventually bought a laundromat on the south side of town and was able to just buy some folding tables and stuff like that from him. And real quickly, in talking to that guy, you realize that, he's a laundry guy. So he knows his stuff inside and out really well. So now that I had the opportunity to work with Bill and build an entire laundromat, the guy really knows his shit, and I'm telling you, he's so good at all the little details. So, and things that I didn't even think of, like when it comes to our bulkheads, he's the one, it was his idea to put the lights in there. And he just, he priced it with the lights in it. He prices it with the better laminate because he knows that it's, it's going to come in contact with water and you want to have the better laminate on your bulkheads. Little things like that. Early on in the stages, just when it comes to, is this the right location? Running demographics, getting some of that advice, years of advice that he's, been working with so many people at different levels of this industry. All that industry knowledge kind of comes through, and he's like, yeah, I think that, we can fit this store here, and, we can kind of guesstimate on some revenue. And we do that through, we study together. We study the other laundromats in the area. We study the corner, the parking, the layout. We look at the demographics, how many rentals are there in the area, and we put that into a spreadsheet sheet and we project revenue based off of that. So there's, we don't just put a laundromat, someplace because, oh, I own a building there, or I think this is a good spot. You don't know until you do all that homework and check it out, all that due diligence work. So Bill was right there every step of the way with that. Programming machines, the guy's here with his laptop, we're programming. He's coming up with some great ideas on what our menus should be, what our upcharges should be. He's here during construction, making sure that the bulkheads are getting poured in the correct spot. He's here with measuring. He's got his hard hat on. He's measuring the locations. We're talking to the HVAC people about, what type of duct work, how big does it have to be, what's the best way, to duct them, the size, how far out of the building they should go, and just all these little details. Where our makeup air should be, and all these things that people just don't think about when they're building a laundromat. And this is a design more or less that that I came up with on our last location, and we were able to do it better this time. And I think that I'm hoping that the equipment mix is one of those things that you never feel 100% confident with. At least I never feel 100% confident with it, even though I use my insights technology to kind of tell me what machines people were using and when they were using those machines, and we made changes based off of that that knowledge that we have with our insights. We made those changes, and I think the end result here is a better laundromat. I do need to talk about, I talked about Bill a little bit here, and I could go on and on and on Bill, honestly. He was just great to work with. But the other thing was great was the installers at RJ Cool. So these dudes rolled up, and I talked about this in a previous video. They rolled up, and in like 2.5 days, they installed all of this equipment. So we have 39 washers, 44 dryers, 1,850 pounds of capacity, 3 bulkheads, just all this stuff. So they knocked it out really fast. And speed isn't really, speed is one thing, but having it done right, where it's grouted properly, the machines are level, everything is installed properly, they really did a great job. So thank you guys for that. Your experience shows in how fast and how well you got this equipment installed. So that's my rant for this week. That's who I wanted to thank. RJ Cool, Bill Dorner, the installers, all those guys that worked on everything. And we are very close to opening our doors here, guys. I'm hoping to pass occupancy this week. I may take just a few days after that to just kind of finalize staff and get things organized on my end. Some people are like, just open the doors, man. You got to open it. And I rather idle it for a few days and make sure that it's right. And first impressions are everything, I believe. And I want the customer to come into this laundromat, and every machine is working as intended. Our staff is doing the right things, that they're trained properly, that they're handling any issues that may arise. And usually the first day when you open your doors, like, I know everybody's like, oh, it's brand new equipment, should work perfectly. Things happen, things come up. The last store that we opened, we had on a 100-pound washer, the gravity drain failed, and Bill Dorner was on the ground, literally taking out the drain and swapping it with like a 40-pound machine laying on the floor. And he's like, well, you got 1040s and you only got 200, so I think it's best to keep that 100 running. So, I mean, the guy's just not afraid to get his hands dirty and lay on the ground and get something done for you. So, but, you know, first impressions are everything. I think we're going to have a really good first impression. We're almost there. I'm going to take this week to finalize everything, get occupancy, and hopefully next time I'm shooting one of these videos, I'm really close to opening, or I am open. So, so that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll probably just shoot some updates and stuff here and there, but week 21, I think it's week 21. That's a wrap on week 21, guys. We'll see you next time.